Hey everyone, thanks for coming to our wedding. It's over now. We just really want to say thank you, and I love this girl. She's my wife now.
I am Mrs. Creasey now.
Hi, I'm Randall, and this is my wife, Christy.
And we've been married 11, almost 12 years. We did start coming to VantagePoint in 2019, and then COVID happened. And while we always walked with the Lord, 2020 was the hardest year of our marriage. We weren't in fellowship in 2020 the way that God intended. You need to be plugged in because you need the right voices in your ears. You need that glimpse of hope. You need that accountability. And I think that not being in fellowship and not being at church every Sunday and not meeting with a small group removed all that.
Yeah, so we're at the same time. Christy probably felt the closest to the Lord at that time. That was for me the furthest that I've ever, felt from the Lord.
I think that people always say marriage is hard, but if you would have asked us a few years ago, we would have said marriage isn't hard. It's easy, it's fun. I'm married to my best friend. But I think at the point where you've been married a decade, you start to take your guard down a little. It's easy to get in a place where Satan creeps in.
Going into getting married, there was just things that you would say, that would never happen to me. That would never happen, or I would never do that, that would never be a part of our story. And unfortunately, infidelity is a part of our story. Our experience in 2020 was just very difficult in that regard. I put my wife through a lot of stuff. How did we get here? It's pretty funny because I think we all have the exact same story on how we got here, and it has less to do with the specifics, and I think more to do with the fact that I chose my wisdom over God's wisdom. And I think when you hide in your secret and you live in the dark as your own individual life, and you're not open with your spouse, most of all, because they're supposed to be the one closest to you, destruction and sin will flourish in your life. That's not how God created us. God didn't create us to hide. We only hide because we think it feels better, and we think this is gonna fix it, or I don't know what people think, but I know that's what I thought.
It was that same day. I remember writing in my prayer journal, Lord, you died for this. Whatever he's done, Jesus' death was for that. And if Jesus can forgive Randall, I want to be like Jesus. I want to see my husband the way Jesus sees my husband.
I just knew I had to get what was out in the darkness out into the light, and I kid you not, her response is not something that was anything that could have been done in your own strength, because it was the Spirit moving through her to, in that moment, be instantly forgiving and instantly loving, and I was blown away by that.
Everything of the world, it was my get out of marriage free card, basically, but I leaned into what the Lord was whispering in my heart, and that was forgiveness. The Lord, through his Spirit, made that possible, and his repentance and recommitment and that forgiveness was all a work of the Lord, and our choice to obey that when everything else in the world told us not to. We leaned into honoring our covenant. We leaned into fighting for our marriage, and what the Lord has done is something beautiful.
I was destroyed. I was dead inside when I was hiding, and once you bring that darkness out into the light, then you're free,
God can take your marriage from a really ugly place, and when you lean into obedience and you lean into forgiveness and you lean into confessing your sin and shedding light on what was in the darkness, God can move mountains and change things, and we've seen that in our marriage.